Hello everyone, welcome to BIM Man. I am your host, Architect Shivang Rajveer, and today I am going to talk about the third important thing about implementing BIM. So remember in this series we started talking about steps to go BIM. First step was you being with yourself, having proper knowledge and understanding of BIM. Second was align your team. Third was how to define your path ahead, like what tool you are going to choose. So I made a detailed video about what tool and how you should, not what tool, how you should, choose the tool. I made a detailed video on this just before this video is that video. Fourth point was BIM standards. So you have to define your BIM standards. I'll make a separate video, or probably BIM standard is such a big topic that I'll have to make a separate series on that. So I'll make a separate series on BIM standards. And fifth is BIM implementation. I'm going to talk about this fifth topic of BIM implementation, which is like last topic, or rather last important step before your BIM journey begins. So these are all preparatory steps, before you actually jump into it. Like when we go for swim, we take shower. We change clothes, we take shower, we get a proper swimming costume, and then we make sure that probably we apply sunscreen also, and then you will have your glasses, probably eye protection, all these things, and then you jump into the water. So this is like BIM implementation is the last step. Now you can jump into the water if you have followed all these five steps. So how to do or what to do for BIM implementation, or rather what is this BIM implementation? You might have heard a lot of this word in my videos, especially BIM implementation. From first video till today, and even in future, I'm going to talk about BIM implementation because that is your tool, your drive. When you purchase a new car, you will take a test drive. So that we did set demo and all, but test drive. Then you will read the manual. Now nobody reads printed manual, but you will at least have PDF for first few days. There will be small settings. Like I can tell you my experience when I had a new car last year. My 1.5 months went behind setting audio system. So I wanted to be sure how my audio sounds. I'm very particular about that. Like inside the car or inside the house, how my audios should respond, what kind of sounds, where the low frequency, mid frequency, and high frequency, and vocals, and all these things. I prefer a lot of settings on this. So I remember when I purchased my car, I spent more than a month just tweaking and finding the right setting for music. Then there is ADAS system. So then I spent some time with tweaking that also. Then there are memory seats, there are other little, small features like in-car navigation, internet connectivity, app-based operation. Then I had another big problem that I was not able to close my sunroof. No matter whatever I do, my sunroof was not getting closed. So then, I did everything. I did online research also. Why the sunroof is not? It will come and then it will just hit the close and then it will open. So then I realized that inside my car, within the car, there is a system which maintains inside temperature and outside temperature. And when the car is on auto mode, the AC air condition aircon feature is on auto mode, it keeps checking that no car is hot inside and it is cooler outside, so it will keep the sunroof open. So why I'm giving you these examples? Because whenever you switch to a new system or new thing, there will be small nitty-gritties which you will not be knowing it on day one. So you need a guided assistant or guided assistance. You need someone who knows the system inside out. You need someone. Like I had another malfunction in my car. where my entire touch screen was frozen, like literally frozen. And it's a good car, good company car. The company is also very famous. So entire touch screen was frozen, non-responsive, and this happened because of Apple CarPlay. So not even, it was not even car's fault. Apple CarPlay got hanged, and car screen got hanged. So then what you do? I mean, it was late in the night. You are not getting any help online. You are calling, but obviously IVR will not be able to solve your problem. So I just did a simple thing. I called my service manager who services my car all the time, and I asked him, and he suggested me something, and within 15 seconds my problem was resolved. So you need something like this, no? When you are switching to a new system. So this entire process, reading manual, testing the car, understanding the settings, then implementing it, driving it, feeling it, all this is called BIM implementation. And all this is important for your BIM journey. So today I am going to tell you what all you have to take care or what all you should consider while doing BIM implementation. Step number one, first and foremost, out of three steps or three aspects of BIM implementation, step one is first and foremost. Step one is learning the software. Whichever is the choice of your software, you have to learn it ultimately. Your team will have to learn it. I mean, I know and I have heard a lot about watching YouTube videos to learn the software, but somehow I feel that no video can talk about nitty gritties. I'm talking about BIM to all of you right now. But I cannot talk about ISO standards, properties and classification. In that, what is the subtype of the classification? In that, which branch of that element? In that branch, what is this element classifies as? In that, what are the properties? In properties, I cannot tell you what are the expression based values, what are the option based values, and what are the descriptive values. In that, I cannot talk in YouTube video. So, training. Your training to learn the software should be done by a professional, not just by anyone who knows the software, but always check. And I'll tell you at each stage what you have to check. Always check at that stage, like training stage, how much that person have dealt with or worked with that particular software. Anybody can watch YouTube video and come and tell you that I am a trainer. Anybody can do that. How much actually that person has spent time with that particular software? Then you might have zeroed down two softwares. But then when you talk to implementation guys for both the softwares, remember these pointers. So first step is you will have to your team, you and your team will have to learn to use the software. Step one. Here you have to, so I'll draw both the parallels. Here you have to make sure that who is going to train you on the software and how much time that person has spent with that software. What is the experience of that person with that software? Not just from the software point of view, like okay, somebody taught me and I know the software, from an application point of view. How many times that person have resolved someone's question, or how many times that person have used that software. My best experience is those who come from support background, let's say online supporting users or online solving queries. When these kind of people come to from support, which is like behind the scene kind of a thing, when these kind of people come to front end, no, like implementing or training, they are best. So understand this. Training, experience of trainer. Second step is doing project. You will have to make sure that you finish at least one or two to be specific, two projects using that particular software. And in this stage, what will be your like red flag or green flag? Your flag will be your team should be working on the software to do those two projects. If someone comes and tells you that my person will come and sit here and work on this project, yes, that person working there in your office, working on your project, will be able to show you the benefits that particular BIM software or that process carries. But will your team feel confident? So if you're, I'm not saying don't go with this also. Okay, go with somebody if you want to, if that is your path. I'm just telling you what will happen at the end of both the journey. Let's say there are two possibilities. One, you hire someone to do implementation for you. They do the project. They give you the files and show you the power of BIM. This is one approach. Remember, let's park this approach. Second, you hire someone, they teach you how to use the software with their experience, they make your team finish the project with their support. Two options. Their team doing it, you are just seeing the magic. Your team doing it, getting their hands dirty. In both none of the approaches are wrong. In this approach, then you have to be very clear that this approach will lead you to a stage where you will have to say that for my BIM implementation, I will have to build a new team which is going to be my BIM team. Because here your team was not involved in the process. The second approach where your team gets into the process, gets their hands dirty, comes down and does the project themselves with the help of, obviously not themselves alone, with the help of your BIM implementation person or agency. In this approach, there is a possibility that few will be able to take it ahead, but there is a high possibility that, let's say you are doing implementation with 10 people team, there is a high possibility that you will have at least 4 to 5 people will be able to take this lead and continue this journey even after your implementation is over. So these two approaches. So we talked about training, their experience of trainer matters. Implementation, two approaches, your team actually sitting and doing it, or somebody else coming to your office, sitting, doing it and proving it to you. Third, and none of the approaches are wrong. Some people can be happy seeing the magic. Some people can be happy learning the magic trick. You have to take a call. Third is your standard office standards, your templates, your office systems, your workflows. Basically, the third stage, I personally call it being self sufficient. What you want to do for that stage? What is your topic? What is your point for being self sufficient? Now, for this, what should be your flag? How you should assess this stage? Go back to the previous stage where your team is getting their hands dirty and they are finishing two projects with the new software, with the new workflow, with the new training, with the new learning. In that approach, obviously that team will come down to this local company based standard and libraries and setting kind of approach also. No, your team will do that as well. Now, let's say that is done. Next stage, or rather, going back, your team is not doing it. The person or the team, experienced team is doing it and showing you the magic. So obviously, uska outcome will be that person will set your office standard template. Both the approaches, again, there is no harm in either of the approach. You have to be self-sufficient. The end result of implementation should be, in my personal opinion, should be team of people knowing BIM process, team of people playing with BIM process, team of people exploiting BIM process. Because I strongly believe that if you don't exploit the technology, technology will exploit you. So you have to go through all the stages: playing, knowing, playing, and exploiting. I'll give you an example of this exploitation by technology. Earlier, when Siri and Alexa came, the accent was not right. We used to ask them something, they used to answer us something else. And then there are many people who stopped using Siri and Alexa. And today, now after so many years, when they try to talk to Siri and Alexa in their phone, Siri and Alexa will take same amount of time to learn their accent. So no matter they started doing that time or this time, it's going to take time and effort. If Siri and Alexa or Siri or Alexa are not understanding your tone, your accent, it will give you wrong information. No. So you have to keep exploiting the technology. The more you exploit the technology, the more they will be giving you precise answer. So the output, or rather the ultimate goal of BIM implementation should be going through the entire journey of knowing, playing and exploiting. And if your team does that, nothing like it. It's the best, most needed situation. If you want to go the other direction, then you can have implementation with someone who sends their people, they finish the project, show you, convincing you, and then in that case you cannot expect your team to do the same magic because they have not gone through that process. So this is what you do for BIM implementation. And in this entire thing, just one word of caution, because I'm working with so many architects since last 15 years, and I have personally noticed this. When you are doing implementation, you have to make, I mean, we are asking so many commitments from the person who is doing implementation for us. What is our commitment? Or rather, what should be your commitment to the person who is going to do implementation for you? Your commitment has to be, first, you will not change the team in between. Whoever is doing it, part of that implementation team from your organization should be stable. Second, whenever implementation is going on, let them work on the new software and new systems. And third, please choose a project where you don't have deliverable deadlines for at least 90 days. Otherwise, you will frustrate your team, you will frustrate your client, you will frustrate the person who is going to implement it for you. And trust me, it should not take 90 days for first deliverable to come out. But just for your internal team's peace of mind, don't push anything, any outcome, any output, any deliverables for first 90 days. Don't expect. If you have made right choice for your implementation team, I mean implementation specialist, consultant, you'll be able to see the output first deliverable probably somewhere around 45th to 60th day. But still, don't push your team. So these are the three commitments you have to do. So remember, three things: learning the software, using the software on two projects, having internal office standards, templates, settings, workflows. So in later stage you are self-sufficient. You don't need anyone. Third, three commitments. First commitment, you will not change the team in between. Second commitment, total number of whatever number you agree, whatever time frame you agree, for that particular time frame, this team should be learning new software, not switching between new and old, new and old. You cannot build a new relationship if you are still not forgetting your ex. We all know this. I mean, I don't want to talk more about it. अब वो ऐसी थी, वो सपने देखते रहेंगे तो we will never be able to have a new relationship. We are living with our ex then. And third commitment from your side for successful implementation should be no deliverables for first 90 days on that project, from that project, on new system. So remember, three steps, three commitments. All the best for your successful implementation. Stay tuned. Keep following our videos, our channels, YouTube, Instagram. We are there. I mean, I'm repeating too many times, but follow, subscribe. And thank you for huge subscriptions and subscribes in last couple of weeks. We are seriously thinking to add more content, coming more frequently and sharing more information. But do comment in the comment box what type of content you want to see, what kind of topics you want me to cover. Thank you so much. Signing off, your host, Architect Shivam Rajveer.